All right, looks like we are live. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. I'm playing with some different lighting setups down here, so I may be completely washed out. I'm not sure yet. You know, I'm just trying to experiment with things down here in the basement. We're gonna go live in front of the 220 tonight. I saw that first comment from Brian. Mabu Puffer's doing great. So that video I actually sent out, was it yesterday, 2 days ago? Was when I had him in the 20 gallon still in quarantine. So that was actually filmed a few weeks ago. He finished up his quarantine. He's actually in the 220 behind me right now, loving life. He's growing. He eats like a freaking champ. So it's been a lot of fun. So it's been a really good time with him. Excuse me, I gotta get my beverage for the night. Fun fact about me, actually like an odd fact. I cannot open soda cans with my fingers. I have to use my teeth first. Don't know why. I know I'm weird, whatever. All right, let's get going here. So first off, I have to definitely say thank you to everybody for this past week. It's been absolutely incredible. We jumped from 117 subscribers, I think I'm at 419 right now. I mean, my one video has over 3,000 views. The rest of my videos are jumping up over 100 views. I mean, this is just absolutely a dream come true. Incredible, that I thank you for everyone that has supported me in this. You know, from that shout out the Aquarium Co-op gave me was just absolutely incredible. You know, I mean, I went from like 117 subscribers, like 300 in one night. I mean, my phone was blowing up. But the most fun I've actually had from this, though, is all the comments that have been coming in on the videos. You know, it's been a lot of fun to interact with everybody. That's probably been like my favorite thing of all this. Excuse me. You know, I can say, like, oh yeah, it's so cool to have subscribers, which it is, but it's even more fun to interact with everybody. Like, it was really cool to interact with people. Just get their opinion on the filter, get their opinion on their tanks. I mean, just the comments that are coming in on my Mabu Puffer, my Fahaka Puffer, like everything's just been so much fun to share my passion with everybody. So it's really invigorated me for 2019. I'm really excited. Oh, there's the Mabu Puffer right there he is. There's Sergeant. So we did officially name him Sergeant, or Sarge for short. So he's there cruising around in the background. Let's say 2019 is gonna be a good year. I've already, one reason why I'm in front of the 220 is kind of changed up where we're live streaming, but also my fish nook is an absolute disaster right now. So why I was a few minutes late getting on the stream is I'm working on projects down here. So I thought, like, oh, I've got an hour before I stream. I'm gonna go start some stuff, and I had my hands in a tank. And my wife's like, hey babe, your live stream starts in 2 minutes. Like, oops, again, I'm late again. So really though, thank you for everybody for coming here. I mean, we're at 6 people watching right now. That's the most I've ever had watch me live stream. This is kind of fun. Tonight, so the main topic I want to talk about tonight, as the title may suggest, is rescuing fish. Now, I have to say, this is a disclaimer, this is solely my opinion. A lot of things we're going to talk about I've done, I've seen. I'm going to say this is just my opinion. I've never... Yeah, Colby, I really thank you for joining me here. Good luck to you. That's awesome. You got a new PC. Like, I'm really excited for that. It's one of my goals in 2019 is to get a laptop, you know, a real legit laptop that I can make some better videos on. Like I said, so I want to talk more about this rescuing fish, and is it an impulse buy? I think we've all been there. So where this really stemmed from, well, it stems from a lot of places actually. I see a lot in comments or like Facebook forums, even YouTube videos of, you know, I rescued this fish, like, oh my gosh, shame on Walmart, I can't believe they're selling betta fish, you know, in a cup nonetheless. Shut down Walmart. I don't understand that mindset. And this also stems from, I had a neighbor of mine, she texted me and says, hey, I have an Oscar fish that's being beat up by my other one, do you want it? And the thing is I knew, sorry guys, I'm learning to read, to like keep streaming, like read comments. I love reading comments. That's awesome, you have 7 different species. That is so cool. Like, I'm super jealous of that. But anyway, so my neighbor texted me and with that Oscar fish, and the thing is, I knew that I could take care of it. I knew that I actually had the current space for it, but I didn't have long-term plans for it, I guess is what I'm getting at. I didn't see it coming down to my fish nook, so I was still building this out. So I didn't plan on keeping an Oscar fish. It wasn't one thing I wanted to keep. And her comment back to me was, yeah, I understand. You're probably not experienced enough to take care of an Oscar. And for whatever reason, that triggered me. Like, I was upset. I didn't text her back. I didn't start an argument. I just said, yeah, I understand. But like, I was actually kind of ranting to my wife, like, I can't believe that. Like, here I am. I'm keeping puffer fish and I'm keeping some exotic fish, but I feel like I have enough of an understanding to take care of an Oscar. You know, I get it. Like, Oscars can be extremely picky fish. But so it just kind of blew me away. But then I really got my mind thinking of like, why didn't I want to rescue that fish, so to say? And it was, I didn't want to put in the time and the money to medicate if it needed to be, to rehabilitate, and then rehouse that fish, as I knew I wasn't going to be keeping it long term. Now I know that sounds almost cruel. How dare you? You're a hobbyist on YouTube and you don't want to rescue a fish? No, I didn't. I really didn't. I think at times when we say rescue, we almost justify it as an impulse buy. So there's actually a fish I never showed you, and it unfortunately has passed away now. Some of you may have picked up on it in my last 5 stream. I impulse buy a silver arowana. So I found some flagtail Procholotus. I knew I wanted those. I wanted one for the 220. I do have one in the 125, and kiwi and that flagtail are doing great. But at the same time, that same seller had some silver arowana in, and they were eating, they were healthy, they were great. I've always wanted an arowana. Like, this is something I've always wanted, but then when I found pufferfish, I wanted pufferfish more. So I impulse buy. I dropped like $100 on this arowana, which I know may sound crazy to some. Others, it can be, you know, you may say, I can get those for $20 on the dollar or whatever, 20 for a dollar, I don't know. Anyway, so I got it home, and I was super excited about it, and I put it in with kiwi, my Fahaka puffer. And you know, if you watched previously, I had issues with the Royal Pleco and kiwi not getting along. And I figured that the arowana would stay up on the top of the tank, on the top of the surface, and they really wouldn't butt heads much. I could figure out a feeding arrangement for them, and everything was good for a couple days. Like, there's no issues. Kiwi was still eating. You know, everything was great. And I came down one morning, and that arowana was missing a chunk out of its back. And I figured out that I guess it pissed off Kiwi at some point, and she just took a chunk out of that fish. And then it turned into like, gosh dang it, like now I've got to try and, you know, rescue this fish. How do you heal a fish that literally it's missing not only a portion of its tail, like a portion of its body? Like, it was gone. Fortunately, I lost that fish a few days later, and my wife called me out, and she's like, babe, that was an impulse buy, and you know it. She's like, I know you've been wanting that fish, but you would totally impulse buy that. And I did. I really did. And unfortunately, I paid the price for it. What I want to talk to more, though, is another thing I saw was another YouTuber I follow. I'm not going to say any channels. I'm not trying to speak bad or ill against anybody. Not at all. But they went to their local, I think it was like a Petco or a PetSmart, and to get some supplies. But you know, I go there too. I'm not against Petco or PetSmart. But she went in and she made an entire video of, oh, there was one goldfish, this super cute goldfish. It was a calico. You know, I really wanted it, but I have nowhere to put it. So I better go buy everything for it. So she bought like a $20 goldfish, and then went out that same night, bought a new 55-gallon tank from PetSmart, a new FX4 filter from PetSmart, and like all the things that she needed to get this tank set up for this rescue fish. And it kind of blew me away of, like, good on you. Like, I almost respect that, but at the same time, like, that's insane to me. That's where I question, was that an impulse buy or was that a rescue? You know, you just spent, you know, and the FX4 filters are easily over $200, maybe $300. You know, a new 55-gallon tank from PetSmart or Petco, not on sale, can be over $100, if not more. So it just kind of blew me away that she would do that. So I say, like, I'm not after anybody. I'm not going to speak ill against anybody, but I'm just not that person. I can't do that. I have a hard time rescuing a fish and spending that much when it's not one I necessarily want, or if it's an impulse buy. So, you know, my Mubu puffer, I drove to Washington for that. Like, I was crazy enough to drive up there for that, but it's something that I wanted, and that was kind of an impulse buy. And the reason is I drove to Washington to find a Shodenai puffer. When I didn't have one, they had the Mubu puffer. I wanted the Mubu. But the thing is, I didn't have a tank for it. So the day that I saw the Maboo, we actually went back to our hotel room and I started cruising my local classified ads, like I do every day. I'm on my classified ads constantly looking for fish equipment. And this tank came up. This whole system came up for $200. And I showed my wife, like, babe, like, if I get that, can I get the Maboo puffer? Yeah, sure. So I was able to, set it up with the seller of this tank for me to pick it up the day after I got home from Washington. So that was really kind of an impulse buy, but I knew that I could long-term take care of this Maboo puffer. Right now he's in the 220. In a couple of years, in a year or 2 years, if I need to, I've got some contacts out there, and I'm already kind of working with some people. I may expand this out to like an 8-foot tank, 2-3 feet wide. So I've got options for him, but I knew long-term what this fish would require in care. And I knew that going into this, where I think some of us just buy these fish and like, oh, I can take care of this. Like, yeah, it's gonna go in a 20-gallon tank and live forever. And then it turns into like, oh my gosh, like I can't take care of this fish. My silver arowana. Yeah, this fish is gonna do great in that 125. Next thing I know, my Fahaka puffer's taking a chunk out of it. So that's where kind of my impulse versus rescue comes into. The other big one, actually, I don't know, upside down capture free, no fins and those. That's cool, Kobe. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's people out there, like, I will never speak ill against rehoming fish or taking a fish in and like healing it. Like, that's incredible. That's good of people to do. But I've seen in forums, this one kind of irks me, where people have gone to their friend's house and they'll take a picture of their fish tank, put it on the internet, and publicly shame them of how they're keeping their fish. They've got 4 goldfish in a 10-gallon tank. I can't believe them. And then just to watch the comments. Australia, that's cool. I have so many viewers from Australia. It blows my mind. But and they'll say in the comments though, like, they'll publicly shame them, and then it turns into a battle in the comments of, oh, you should just take that tank. Just take it from them. Tell them they're a terrible fish keeper. They shouldn't be allowed to have pets. Just take it. And then other people, are like, well, why not try and educate them? Why not try to, educate them of, hey, have you thought about upgrading this tank? Petco has their $1 a gallon sale. Cool, that's really cool about that catfish you got there. So, but then it turns into other people just like tell them they're wrong. Tell them they can't keep fish that way. And then it blows my mind. Like, why are we publicly shaming people for how they keep their fish? Granted, we may not always agree with them. I don't agree with people necessarily rescuing fish all the time, but I'm not trying to publicly shame anybody. This is just my opinion. So it made the hobby toxic when people were publicly shaming others for their tanks. It really frustrates me. The other big one I see though is betta fish. We know that they're kept in little cups. Petco, PetSmart. I mean, even my local fish store that I go to, they're not in cups. They're kept a little better, in my opinion. They're kept probably about 2-gallon tanks each, and they have some plants in them. So the plants are actually acting as the filtration unit. They'll use a lot of pothos or the bamboo plant growing out of the tank. So they keep their betta fish in a much healthier environment. But even then, I've heard, as I've been shopping in that store, I've heard people argue with the fish owner. They are terrible fish keepers. They shouldn't be allowed to be in business because they're keeping betta fish in small tanks. I don't know why we go after this. You often see people getting online of, I went to Petco tonight and I rescued 4 betta fish. I can't believe them. They're keeping them in cups. I've seen petitions to shut down Walmart, like literally to try and shut down Walmart from selling betta fish because they're kept poorly. Now, I'm going to agree. I don't think Walmart keeps their betta fish. I don't think Walmart keeps fish properly anyhow because they're not kept up with like water changes or an healthy environment. I have specifically talked to some Petcos in my area, and I've asked them, I said, what's your care on your betta fish? And they say that there's an employee's job is every day to change out the water in the cups they're kept in. I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that. They're holding cups. They're not meant to be kept there long term, but it's when people don't understand those. They say, I rescued 5 betta fish from Petco in one day, and I bought 5 10-gallon tanks to have each single house betta fish, but let's shut down Petco from selling betta fish, they don't understand is you just supplied revenue to them. All Petco's gonna do is go through and count what their sales were and say, oh, I need to order 5 more betta fish in because I sold 5 betta fish. Then you're gonna come back the next week, rescue 5 more betta fish, buy 5 more tanks, and then you're still gonna not understand why Petco is still allowed to sell betta fish, but you're supplying revenue to that company, so of course they're going to. I understand, like some people have actually successfully stopped Walmart from selling fish, which I'm okay with. You know, I don't, it's interesting. Walmart's such a touchy subject of how poorly they can keep their fish. But again, I'm not here to publicly shame anybody. I'm just giving all my opinion. And I know this is on YouTube and a live stream, so it may seem like I'm publicly shaming people, but I'm not trying to. But I'll never understand that mindset. I never will. Of, you know, I rescue fish, but yet they keep selling fish. You keep supplying revenue. That's all it really is. Recently on my local classified ads, we often see I'm moving, can't take this with me. Now Christmas, just watch. January, February, March, so many free tanks are gonna come up on your local classified ads. Facebook groups, anywhere, like on the side of the road, like people are gonna get Christmas gifts of fish tanks, then get rid of them, a month or two later. But recently I saw one. It was a 12-inch silver arowana in a 29-gallon tank. The 12-inch silver arowana in a 29-gallon tank that this guy was selling for. He's trying to sell it for like $200, the whole system. And his reasoning is, I'm moving, can't take it with me. And I had to stop myself from messaging him of saying, what are you doing? You're keeping a big fish in a small tank. Like that doesn't work. But it wasn't my place. So then people told me, like, well, why don't you buy it? Buy it, keep the fish, use the tank for something else. But then I had to really keep thinking of, I just lost an arowana already. Obviously, I'm not going to get another one right now until I have maybe a specific tank for it. So it's stuff like that. It really is. I've seen on Facebook forums again, I've actually left a few forums because they're so damn toxic. So toxic to people. They'll take a screenshot of their local classified ad and say, I messaged this guy to try and get him to stop his animal cruelty for keeping a goldfish in a 30-gallon tank. Okay, we're not going to change people's minds that way. We are not going to change a mind by arguing with them. We can change perspective by educating them. That's what I seek to do here in my fish nook, is how do I properly keep fish? How do I do this? And that's something I hope to do in 2019 a little more, is I do some projects and some different things to kind of showcase how I'm keeping fish and maybe some of the requirements they need. But again, I'm still learning. That's the thing about this hobby, is I'm constantly still learning, but I want to kind of help people understand that you're not always rescuing a fish. It's a touchy subject, it's a touchy thing, and I don't know, man, like you're not gonna shut down Petco or PetSmart by keep buying their betta fishes. They're gonna keep stocking them. So that's kind of my rant for the night. This is maybe going live for maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour, see how long we go. But that's kind of what was on my mind this past week, is just as I saw that YouTuber, specifically go rescue a goldfish and then spend hundreds of dollars in setting a tank up for it. And if that's what people's prerogative is, like, good on you, really good on you. It's just not for me. And I want to help people understand of, if you sincerely want to change how some businesses, yeah, I mean, Colby, like I did the same. So my first tank was a 20. So yeah, here's a story for you. Kind of all over the place, but my first tank was a 20-gallon tank. My fourth Christmas with my wife, 4 years ago. So my wife bought me a 20-gallon starter kit for Christmas. That's really how I got into this hobby, like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I couldn't wait to set that tank up. I think I put water in it Christmas Day. The next day we drove to the local Petco, and I think I picked up 15 different fish. I had a rainbow shark that's actually in the 220. He's actually the longest living fish I've ever had. I'm amazed he survived. I got 2 rainbow sharks. I got the black one and what do you call it? Albino one. I had like 3 angelfish. I think I put in one of the common plecos. What else did I put in there? I think some mollies I had in there. Like I had a group of fish. And this one I didn't know what the ammonia cycle was. Like all I thought about fish tanks were you put the hang on back filter on, you put the little cartridge in, you fill it up with water, you add the chlorinator that comes with the tank, and you're ready to go. I had no idea what was going on. And the fish that actually survived from there were that common pleco and the rainbow shark. I've since rehoused that common pleco. But yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. Like that's the thing is like, I was so excited though, just excited for this. That's what we need to do. When people get excited about a fish tank, like keep that excitement going, but let's try and educate them of how are you gonna properly long-term take care of this fish, like then they start really branching out like, oh my gosh, did you see how Petco's keeping their bettas? I'm gonna buy 16 more tanks and buy all the betta fish they have in stock. Okay, are you ready to take care of 16 additional tanks? That's actually a video I'm going to be working on tonight, is how I maintenance all my tanks, how I've set that up. That's what people, a question I get a lot is, how often do you clean your tanks? How long does it take you? So that's part of rescuing fish or an impulse buy is, are we ready to take care of it? Christmas too, you're going to see a lot of hobbyists. I would just watch on like Facebook forums and stuff. They're going to say like, I was gifted these goldfish. What do I do? I don't have a tank for them. Like, what do I do? So I think in a pinch, plastic totes are amazing. Like, we really don't need a glass aquarium or an acrylic aquarium to keep fish. Plastic totes do wonders. They really do. So like I said, I guess if you're gonna look into rescuing fish, or you get gifted some fish, you get in a position where you necessarily can't take care of that fish, you don't have the space for it, look into plastic totes, look into alternative measures to house that fish for a time. That's something. That's different when it comes to maintenance. Yeah, Scott, I agree. I really do agree. That's one thing I want to highlight in my video is what each one needs in terms of maintenance. Like, I don't know if the camera's really picking it up right now, but I have green algae across my front of my tank right now. You can kind of see it in the back corners here. These fluval lights are incredible. My other tanks are super simple. Like, scrub off some algae, clean the sponge filter. Saltwater tank's going to be different to maintenance on. So I said, I've got some things cooking down here, guys. It's going to be a fun, really fun time. All right, I know we had the peak of 10 people watching. That's incredible. That's like that is a record for Wel-Don Aquatics. So really, guys, thank you all for joining me here tonight. It's been a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing this. This isn't going to be my longest stream, but maybe we'll just kind of hang out for a few more minutes, see if anybody's got any other questions or anything you want to see in my fish room, anything I can answer. Let's do that. I mean, I'm willing to answer. I can't see it on the knees. Amanda, that's a really good point. That is a really good point. If I can't rescue all the animals, you're absolutely right. I do love animals. I'm not. This isn't me going against. I don't like animals or fish. I mean, I've got 8 fish tanks down here. I have 2 dogs. I have a gecko you've never seen. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But like, that's something me and my wife have talked about. Like with dogs, we're always gonna have dogs. Clay, the lights I'm using behind me, I have 2 of the Fluval 3.0 lights. So I have 2 36-inch lights up on the tank behind me. I knew I wanted a really high light as I'm trying to grow some plants down the substrate, but also I love the look of the Fluval 3.0s, and they're really easy to control through the Bluetooth app. They come with a price. They do come with a pretty penny, but I have another video coming out where I'm going to kind of compare the Fluval light to another light, kind of a really high budget option versus a low budget option. So that's what I'm using on the 220 behind me. And yes, besides the Mabu puffer, right now I have my Fahaka puffer in my 125 gallon, and I have an orange Abai puffer in a 40-gallon breeder. So that's what I have. I used to have some pea puffers. I actually had those in my 33-gallon long tank. I since have rehoused those. Kind of went somewhere different, but I actually kind of miss those guys now. I really do kind of miss my pea puffers. So I'm really debating on setting up another small tank for some pea puffers. They were so freaking cool. Where do you live? Cedar fever. I do have hay fever. I do have a lot of allergies. I also have Tourette's. It's kind of another thing I do there. I am in Grantsville, Utah. So I am in Utah. over here in the mountain area. If you know where Salt Lake City, Utah is, I'm about 45 minutes west of Salt Lake City. So that's where I'm out here in the we call it the boonies of Utah. I don't know. That's where I moved to about a year ago, a little over a year ago. So I'm loving it out here. Jeep country. It very well could be Jeep country. Let me see if I can pull up the chat. I know I just missed somebody's question about a 15 gallon one. I apologize. Here we go. Let me back. Here we go. From Aussie Plays, I had some white crystals starting to grow around one of my 15-gallon tanks. Can you tell me what it was and how to stop from growing? I had some white crystals starting. Aussie, I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm not gonna lie. I've never kept crystal shrimp. I have some white crystals starting to grow. 15-gallon tanks. I'm sorry, that was my camera. I do want to keep crystal shrimp. My knowledge on that is, I know they need. A lot of people talk about they're going to need a softer water and like a lower pH. So it may be something with your water on that one. Hopefully, maybe somebody in the chat can help you. If there's anybody else that can help out Aussie Plays to kind of see what you may think about that. I almost wonder if it's like mold. But you said it's a white crystal, so I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be that. That's really interesting. Yeah, Scott Wilkinson says maybe some kind of a sponge. I'm not sure on that one. So I said I've yet to delve into the crystal shrimp roll. That's something I do want to get into though. Right now I have my cherry shrimp and my 33 in there. I'm having a lot of fun with those guys. So, but I do have my RO unit, so I'm looking to do some crystal shrimp in the future. I have liquid rock here for water. I did a hardness test and it was off the charts. I think the bristlenose enjoys messing with the bulb. I do have some bristlenose behind this tank of me. One thing I've got to do too is over here, so the camera's kind of flipped it, but this is my drain lines that go down into the sump. And I have an issue of the plecos like to get up over that. And then they hang out back there by the pipes. I have some strainers they can't get down to the sump, but I think right now I have a pleco stuck back there. Sometimes they get themselves back out, but that's something I got to work on. That's a project I'm going to show you how to kind of block that off with some sponge. There's the Maboo puffer fish over here. He's a lot of fun. All right, what else we got going on tonight, guys? How's everybody's Christmas? That's another one. How was Christmas for everybody? I don't know if you celebrated it. I did. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. This was my daughter's first Christmas. So it was a lot of fun to see her. Even though she's only 3 months old, getting really excited about opening presents. I had a good one. So yeah, what did you guys get? I breed dragon puffers. You breed dragon puffers. That is so cool. Like, that is incredible. I mean, that's like a dream of mine to breed puffers. So yeah, Brian, there actually is people. I have yet to do it. There's a guy I've come in contact with. I'm going to try and go do it with him. He's out with a permit. We're actually able to go collect our own brine shrimp out of the Great Salt Lake. He gets pounds of it. I mean, just absolute pounds. And he says you can freeze it and basically use it as like a freeze dry or like a frozen brine shrimp, like anything else. That's really cool. We also have, I know I have the brine shrimp company here in Salt Lake. I think they're up in Ogden, actually, Ogden, Utah. Really big company based around brine shrimp and selling high quality fish food. But yeah, I do want to go collect brine shrimp. That's really cool. What else we got here? It's like Scott got a new breeder for some Jack Dempsey's. I used to have a Jack Dempsey. One of my favorite fish of all times I've ever kept. I've moved on to different things. I actually had to break down the tank he was in to move when I moved out of Roy. But I love Jack Dempsey's. What else do we got here? Amanda, I just finished my first vivarium for my dorm room. Best present to myself ever. Amanda, feel free to share some pictures of that on the Facebook, the Wel-Don Aquatics Facebook page. I love seeing other people's projects. I really do. Love seeing what other people are working on. It's hilarious. You say best present to myself. Like, my parents were asking me, so what did your wife get you for Christmas? And she just says, I don't know. They show up at Amazon boxes every day, and it's just a gift to himself. So we'll probably say like the saltwater tank was my gift to myself this year. I've been working on that. And that's funny though. I'd really enjoyed it. That's your best present to yourself. Aussie Play's got a ton of plants. Right on, man. I actually just got a shipment of plants in today. Maybe I I've got a little 5-gallon over here next to me that's just, I think I've got like 20 plants in there. I got a new build coming. I'm doing a new tank, so I needed a place to put all my plants in. So I got a bunch of plants in holding right now, just trying to keep them alive until I can get to it. Hopefully I'm gonna get that tank set up tonight. It's gonna be a fun one. Oh, Colby got a pea puff or something. Let's pull that chat back up. Even though it's just a pea puffer, I never thought I would keep a puffer. Hey man, pea puffers are pea puffers. That's super cool. It's actually one of my favorite puffer fish. They are small but super spunky. My favorite is when you feed them frozen blood orbs and they get one like it's like a spaghetti noodle, or I call them puffer Cheetos. It's hilarious when they're chomping down on it. Yeah, pea puffers are actually a lot of fun to keep. Let's see. Creep. There we go. Looks like we're maybe getting some help for Aussie plays with this crystal shrimp there. That's really cool. That's one thing I love about this hobby is like even in a live stream chat we can help each other, really help each other with all that. All right, guys, I think we may start winding down unless there's anything else you guys want to see or want me to talk about. I think we peaked at 11. Super cool. I get so excited over this. We peaked at 11 viewers. That's so much fun to me. Like I say this, I again, for all those of you who may be coming into the chat now or the video now, thank you so much for this past week, past few days. It's been absolutely just incredible. The support that's been shown to me and my YouTube channel. Been a lot of fun. It's really invigorated me to try some new things. I was busy last night in my garage. I built some stuff out for the fish nook last night, and as soon as I end the stream here, the next little bit, I'm gonna be really working down here. I got to do some maintenance on this tank, some other maintenance stuff, and build some stuff out. It's gonna be a good night. Colby, that's interesting. You know, as long as he's eating something, like my pea puffers wouldn't touch freeze-dried foods. I know that Aquarium Co-op got some pea puffers to eat the new Vibra Bites. I think I have some up here. Yeah, the new the Hikari Vibra Bites. I personally cannot get any of my fish to eat these. Not saying they don't work, but my fish wouldn't touch them. What else? That's really cool though. At least he's eating something. Gotta run. It's fun. Brian, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate you coming to the stream. It's been a lot of fun to have you here. So that's enjoy, guys. We're up to 11. Listen, this is fun. Let's see. I'm trying to think maybe if I kind of show you something I'm working on tonight, but I don't want to give away too much. My fish looks so loud right now. I'm working on some filters tonight, and my air pump's kind of going crazy. I forgot. I think I forgot to hook one back up, and I got some massive gurgling going over there. So that's one reason why we're over here in front of the 220s. They kind of try and keep the sound quality decent. Let's see, we've been live for over 30 minutes. What else do we got going on? How about this? What are your plans for 2019? What does everybody have plans for? Do you have a new tank you want to build? A new fish you want to keep? What do you got there going on for 2019? What's everybody's kind of plans? I can tell you my plan is I've got one, possibly 2 new tanks coming down here. It's kind of funny. I had a question given to me in one of my past videos of, you know, looks like you're running out of room. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to build up. I'm going to stack some tanks. So I've got a new tank below the camera you can't see. I've got a tank in the back room I got to finish cleaning out. So I have some plans to put some new tanks up. We're going to finish the saltwater tank. I know I've talked about that, and that whole series is probably going to start coming out the first of the year. I'm really excited about that one. That one's been a lot of fun to work on. I actually went and picked up my first fish for it last night. So that one's going to be exciting. What else do I got going on? Yeah. Made my first $1 off breeding platters. Congratulations, Colby. That's really cool. Maybe one day. Well, some of the fish I plan on bringing into the fish nook for 2019, I plan on breeding, well, trying to breed those, and hopefully if those get breeding for me, I can make a deal with my local fish store, some local hobbyist or something to make some trades for food or different things of that nature. But I am excited for some of the fish I'm bringing down here. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I also want to do a series. I think I'm going to do a series in the new year, really going back to basics. I've taken my hobby to an extreme where I forget that there are others that are just starting this hobby. you know, and I want to kind of try and help them, maybe set up some different tanks. So I think I'm going to start a new series or something different in the new year. You know, that, excuse me, I understand that everybody can't have a 220-gallon tank, so focus on maybe some smaller tanks and stuff like that. Colby, I made the joke about guppies one time. That's something I actually miss and want to get back into this summer. Is I had a plastic tote full of guppies, and I just called them guppies in a tub. And my joke was, to get them to breed, you add water, add food, and you wait a week, and they'll be breeding. So I do have some plans for the summer for some more guppies or maybe some platyger mollies. I do really look forward. I do miss my live bears. I used to have a big colony in with my Oaxaca puffer, and she left them alone, but slowly they started dying off, so I'm really missing my guppies right now. I do want some more guppies in that big tank back there with her. But did I miss anything in the chat? All right, guys, there's not much more going on. I really do hope everybody had a good Christmas. Hope everyone's doing well. I wish you great things for the new year. This is kind of, I will say, my live stream to bring in the new year. I know a few days off, but just doing what I can. So again, thank you so much for everybody's support for this channel. It has been absolutely incredible. You know, almost over 400 subscribers. Like, that is just a dream come true. So I'm really working on getting up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. That's probably my goal for the new year, is to really get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you know some people, bring them in. I don't say it often. I do have a Facebook page, Wel-Don Aquatics. I'm also on Instagram under Wel-Don Aquatics. Primarily Instagram is where I'll show some behind the scenes footage, maybe some pictures of quick clips of things I'm working on. That's kind of where I can show off some things I'm doing, or show some things, share some things, you know, earlier than YouTube, but I'm still on my YouTube here. So every week I do a video a week right now. I probably could do more, but I want to make sure I keep my content relevant in that nature. But I do have some videos coming out I'm really excited for. So again, thank you everybody for the support for this channel and the support of me. It's been a lot of fun having people hang out here in the live stream. So wherever you are, thank you. I wish you all a good night. Well, it's a good night for me. If you're just waking up in Australia or something, good luck to you. So here it is, guys. We're going to sign off for the night, and we'll talk to you in the next one. If you got some ideas you want to see in another live stream, you know, throw them at me. You can also email me at weldonaquatics@gmail.com. So I don't know, we'll do some live streams periodically, man. It's fun. It's fun to do these, fun to interact with people. I really do enjoy talking with other hobbyists through the comments. You know, I see I got Brett and Amanda there commenting. So thank you so much, everybody. Aussie Place, good night, man. I hope you have a good time over there in Australia. Keep your spiders. I hate spiders. You can keep your spiders over there. But other than that, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Clay. I appreciate you joining me here. Colby, good luck this new year with your new PC. Hope that all goes well for you. I'm gonna get busy. I got a lot of projects I gotta get done out here tonight. I get a few days off of work a week here, so I gotta get really busy tonight. So again, thank you everybody, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.